Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Neghin, and for those of you that are returning, thank you so much. We got some major spirit fingers. We're really excited about this video. I'm gonna jump right into explaining what it is and then showing you what it is, because I want this video to be useful and quick, and I know I have a really bad habit of just talking, and I'm trying to make things that are really useful for you be concise and short and straight to the point. It's been so quiet, and all of a sudden you're gonna start construction at 6 p.m. More of a reason to get through this intro. If the light changes, that's because I'm not using my normal lighting setup. I'm using natural window light, which I love and I always incorporate into my setups, but now it's completely out of my control. If you don't know what this is from the title of the video, I'm gonna show you guys how I do my setup for filming. So I've gotten a ton of requests for this over on Instagram, and basically anytime I film a makeup tutorial or an Igtv styling video, this is the setup I'm using. And I get people who ask me like, what camera do you use? What lighting do you use? You know, like all the basic questions. And I want to show you how simple it is. And the reason I feel really passionate about doing this is because when I was starting out on Instagram and even on YouTube, I thought I had to have the best of the best. I thought I had to have, you know, a Canon DSLR to film and take pictures with a crazy lens and this lighting and all this stuff. And I did a ton of research and I ended up spending a ton of money. And I just realized, like, it's not me. And you don't necessarily have to have, you know, studio lighting and cameras and all that to have really good content. And I realized for me and also for my followers, what they react best to is more relatable, easygoing, and we're just chatting and hanging out type of content. And I also realized for me, I know I said for me and my followers, but I realized for me the most important thing was that I needed something that was easy, because I don't have the luxury of having a full-on like camera studio lighting setup in my home that's just always there, always ready to go, and it's something that has to be put together and taken apart every time I want to film. And it just got to the point where I never wanted to create content because the setting up process would take me like 30 minutes, then I'd be hot and sweaty, then I'm like, all right, now I have to go shower, do my hair, do my makeup, or not do my makeup because normally that was happening on camera, but it's like basically I had to do all this, and by the time I was finally sitting down to record, I was exhausted. So for me, it was just really important to have something that's ready to go, or as close to as ready to go as I could get, and something that's easy, because if it's easy, it makes me want to create more content. And if I'm creating more content, I'm engaging with you guys more. And at the end of the day, I like people who are just real and just create good content. And it's not that they have a shitty picture with a great quality lens and camera, but it's that they have fun content and relatable content, even if it's taken on an iPhone or a point and shoot. So anyways, enough blabbing. Basically, it came down, for me, I needed good quality but easy. And I'm gonna show you guys my lighting setup for filming, and most of you are gonna be shook at how crazy it is. Let me give you a sneak peek. Everything that I use when I wanna film, minus the camera and obviously the laptop to edit on, all in here. Everything is in here. This is how easy it is. I just went to Palm Springs and I took this with me because my plan was to film while we were there, and it unfortunately didn't happen. We had a lot of side stuff going on. We were there for work and I didn't get a minute to film, but I took this with me and then I took it back and it wasn't a big deal. I'm gonna move the camera, I'm gonna show you how it's all done, how easy it is, and then we'll talk about like the pros and cons of what I do. I mean, with the lighting, I can't even talk. I'm so excited I can't talk. Basically, once I show you how it's set up, how fast it is, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons. So let's do this. Okay, So this is the only way I can figure out how to show you guys how to set it up. And you know what the issue is? I rely so heavily on my setup that this is just awkward. But you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna show you guys how I literally do everything from A to Z. Let me see. Let's time this, because I've actually never timed how long it takes me. I just know it's quick. So I'm gonna hit the stopwatch, and obviously this is gonna be, I just realized I'm not even talking to you. But I'm gonna hit the stopwatch. This is probably gonna be a couple minutes longer because I plan on talking to you guys throughout it. Not all of it, because most of it will be fast forwarded. But to get an idea. So it says 0. Let's hit start. Are we going? We're live. Let's do this. Okay, so here's what I really like about it. It has 2 compartments that are actually really connected. It's really 1 compartment, but it feels like 2 because there's 2 different entrances. So there's this top zipper, and then there's this bottom zipper. So we're gonna start with the bottom zipper because this is where the tripod is. And just like that. Okay, so we just take it out and then we open it. It's super easy. Even though it looks like I'm struggling, which all of a sudden I am. I don't know why. Okay. So now we have this open on the ground. And basically I'm just gonna loosen this part up. Oh, that's why I was having trouble opening it. I didn't loosen that up. Okay. Now that it's loosened, you see that it's opened. We're gonna close it. And then I'm gonna open these, and basically you bring this to the height that you want. So I'm not gonna bring it all the way up because this is obviously for purposes of the video. Now that we have this taken out of the bag, I'm gonna see if I can angle this any better because this feels really weird. Okay, so now that you saw me unpack the tripod, I'm gonna show you everything else. Everything else has to do with this region, so it doesn't really matter what's going on the ground. This is gonna be way longer time now because I'm realizing I'm talking to you guys and changing the angle of the camera, so I don't even know if there's a point to time it, but we're doing it. Okay, so now I'm opening up the top portion of the bag, and in here you have the lighting, the head attachments, as well as a mirror, and I'll talk about the mirror. I actually haven't used the mirror yet. I haven't had a need to, but I think if I ever want to take videos with my phone, the mirror will come in really, really handy. So we'll get to that. Okay, so let's do the main part of the lighting. Ta-da! You know what I realized? I've talked about this a bunch. I'm now showing you how to use it, but I've never actually said what it is. So this lighting setup is from Glamcore, and it's their Multimedia Extreme Kit. So I got this because I just wanted to have all the options that you can have with it. And I'm really glad because I've used it for quite a few different purposes. And I'll show you what I mean when we get there. But anyways, this is the main part of the setup. So literally this goes on to here. And then in the back, there's this knob. And you just twist the knob to make it tighter. And now it's on there. You can twist it a little bit, but probably wouldn't recommend doing that because, I mean, well, you don't want to like loosen it up. If you want to move it, you move it. Okay, so here's what's really, really cool about this. By the way, it's been 4 minutes now and we're done setting up. That's it. That's the entire setup. Now, there's more steps to it. I'm going to stop this because, I mean, it probably would have taken me a minute to set it up if I wasn't talking. But that's the entire setup. So now there's extra pieces that you would use and set up, and that would take a little more time, but probably 4 minutes total. Whereas it took me 4 minutes to set this up because I'm talking to you guys. So I think you got the drift. But anyways, now let me show you what's really, really cool about this. I'm like so excited to share this with you guys. I know you guys are a lot further away, and I'm sorry that the angle keeps changing in this video. It's just, this is the setup that I use. It's always at the perfect height. And now, of course, when I need to live on the edge and film something not using it, my lighting keeps changing and my angles keep changing. But it's okay, we're gonna power through this because at the end of the day, this is about the actual value of the content and not so much of having like an aesthetically pleasing video. But anyways, so I already showed you guys how you set it up, which is basically take out the tripod, open it to your desired height, and then attach this lighting piece on there. So the great thing, this is probably what I love most about this, is that, let me see if I can bring this closer. Okay, there we go. So what I love most about this, by the way, these are covers to protect the light, so let's take that off. I'm not gonna light this and actually blind you guys because the light going into the camera isn't smart. But what I love about this is that these arms move. So depending on my camera angle and my angle and where I need more light, like if I'm using natural light and it's coming in really heavy on this side, I can angle it so that this is hitting me a lot harder and better on the right side. So that's great because you can bring it down, you can bring it up, you can make it straight, you can make it curved. So this is why, like, one of the biggest perks about this. Now, another really amazing thing is that the part that the camera goes on also changes. So I can bring it literally all the way down. I can bring it all the way, I can bring it straight. I can bring it back if for some reason. And then if I, like for my style videos, I have to take them vertical. And so I have to flip the camera this way. And so just like that, the camera is now vertical, and then I'll adjust my lighting to hit me where I need it to for this angle. So it just gives you a lot of versatility, and the fact that it's light makes it super accessible and easy to use. Okay, so we've talked about the major perk of this. So I guess I'm doing the show and tell, pros and cons as I'm showing you everything, not after, but it's okay. We're going with it. So now I keep everything I need in this bag. This is why I keep reaching for it. So you do need to plug the light in for it to work, but I'm not plugging it in because we're not trying to get on, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see anything. Let's see, what else? This is what's really handy about it. Unless I took it out because I needed it. Oh, no, it's in here. I told you to keep everything in there. This is what's so awesome about this entire setup, is that you can use your remote control. So if this was plugged in and I could hit the power button to turn it on, so I don't have to keep getting up and adjusting the lighting. I can adjust everything from where I'm seated once I know the angle and position of the lighting and the camera. So you hit the power button to turn it on, and then it has 3 different lighting setups. To be completely honest, I always use the daytime one, which is M1. It's the 2700 kilowatts, but and that's because I like warm toned day golden hour type of lighting. But you can make it cool tone at 5600, or you can make it a mix of warm and cool, which I've tried, but with my skin tone I don't love it unless the lighting outside permits me to use that. Basically my point is that you have 3 different options to control your lighting, which is great because not everybody has the same skin tone, not everybody wants the same warmth as I do, so that's awesome. And then you can also connect this like through Bluetooth to your camera and actually use it to turn on and off your camera, take pictures, and do all that great stuff. So that's really handy. So the head that we have on here right now is the head for the camera, and that's because normally I use my point and shoot when I'm using this setup. But there have been times where I've filmed with my iPhone. So let me show you how easy it is to switch the head out. I have to remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay, I always have to do that if I'm trying to remember which way to spin this. I just want to get it far enough from the bottom. I don't need to spin it all the way. And then basically, like that. So I take one head off, and the head that I love using, and then I need to use more because I want to start taking like my own selfies without actually having to hold it, is this head. So let me show you guys putting my phone on. So you do have to take your case off. If you have a Plus, at least I have an iPhone 8 Plus. With my X that I used to have, yes, I downgraded my phone. I didn't have to take my case off to put this on, but now I do because the case just adds so much extra room, or so much width. So anyways, this is on my phone now, connected, and all I'm gonna do is put this on. It's actually harder with your phone on, so maybe take. I am reading this book. Totally off topic, but I'm reading this book, You Are a Badass, and the author talks about the big snooze. Basically, like anytime you try to make a change that's better in your life, all this shit goes wrong. That's basically what today is like. Wanted to create more consistent content, and yeah, everything got piled on today. Nothing with this setup is working, and probably because I'm getting too used to this because it's so great. But it's just like one of those days where everything seems to be going awry. Yeah. So my camera died. My camera battery died. Then my camera fell off the ledge that it's sitting on. It's not even a ledge. It's a full-on like cabinet. Not sure how it fell, but it did, and it almost broke, and luckily it didn't, but part of the tripod that it's sitting on did. So I'm hoping it doesn't fall because now it's actually wobbly. Anyways, that's just a total side note. It's okay, we're gonna power through this, we're gonna get through this because we're basically done. So I went over the actual head of the iPhone. Now here's the thing that I haven't used it for that I really want to use it for. So I was showing you the front camera, but let's say you want to use the back camera. So I'm just flipping that around. So now it's sitting here, and now you have no idea what you're looking at, right? Not for long. Basically, there's this really cool mirror, and you set it up. You see how you can see my screen now? I mean, it's black, so you can't really see. But basically, this comes with an attachment. Let's find it. Here we go. So it has this attachment on the back. You just literally stick this in there. Okay, so now it's attached, right? Now you would open this, attach this right here, and angle it so when you're standing in front of the back camera, which is obviously the better camera on the iPhone, you can take pictures and see where you're taking a, like you want to act like you're taking a selfie, but you're actually taking it with the back camera. You could use this and take a selfie with the back camera, or you can attach this and leave it on there and create a whole video and use this, whether it's this way or this way, to see everything that you're seeing on your screen, which I think is genius. So that actually wraps up the whole video. We went over all the stuff that came with it, all the stuff that I use. All right, so we have one final angle change, and now the lighting's like really disappearing. I'm finding pieces of my tripod everywhere because my camera almost broke on me, but luckily the tripod took the hit. I'm praying to God I don't look at my camera when I take it off the tripod and realize that these bits are actually from the camera as well, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, I know this was a really different video than what I normally do, and I also know that it was a little all over the place. Let's be real. But yeah, basically I'm just gonna work through it, and I'm just gonna keep creating bomb-ass content. Some of it will be bomb in the sense that it's gonna be really aesthetically pleasing. By the way, this stack is from when I was trying to angle on the tripod so you guys can see what I was doing on the ground. You see? It's not always pretty behind the scenes. But yeah, basically I'm gonna try to create content that's not just aesthetically pleasing. So not just a beautiful lighting setup with a backdrop and, you know, me blending my eyeshadow out immaculately. But I want content like this that's real, that gives value and can help you, because if I had a video like this, even though it's all over the place, when I was starting out, I would have been like, hell yeah, here's this girl setting up her camera or her iPhone on this easy to go tripod lighting system and able to take it anywhere and everywhere. So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't wanna blabble on because I probably already have, it's probably already a 30-minute video when I, in my head, wanted it to be like 5 minutes. So, the big snooze. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should read the book. You're a badass, because it's pretty awesome. And then one last thing, because I got so many questions about this over on Instagram, and I knew I was planning on talking about it, on Instagram, actually you should go there and check it out, because I'm gonna do something separate on there and talk about a different setup that I use for my IG lives. Which is actually how I was introduced to the brand. I bought my Ricky Loves the Ricky mirror from the brand on my own without ever knowing who they were or anything. Came across it, was like, I need this in my life for travel and for filming. Bought it with my own money, ended up loving it and promoting it so much on IG stories that they reached out to me and said they wanted to work with me. So I was planning on buying this setup, and in all transparency, I didn't, because they were kind enough to send it to me. But this is something I would have bought, and I was planning on buying on my own. Because I did buy the Ricky Loves Ricky mirror. It's also part of the Glamcore family, and I've been using that for about a year now and loved it. So yeah, in all transparency, this was gifted to me, but it's something that I use for every single setup, and that's why I wanted to talk about it with you guys. So I have emailed them and asking them for a discount code, which they so graciously gave to me. I believe the discount code is just my name, Neghin, and I believe it gives you 15% off, which is a lot because these things can get expensive. But yeah, the reason I love it is because it's your lighting system and your tripod and all the accessories you would need into one. So that's pretty awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna put the discount code and all the information for it in the description box, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and yay to more consistent content and more content that creates value. So don't forget to give this video a like if you want more how-tos. Like, even I just finished photography school, which is something completely different, something I really haven't talked about at all. But if I can teach you guys even stuff that I've learned about the camera, I would love to do that, because I just spent hundreds of dollars going to class for that, and I would love to be able to share that with you guys, because again, this is stuff that I've had to learn on my own and pay to learn on my own, and I would love to be able to give back to my community who supported me. And yeah, now I'm actually gonna stop blabbing because I think I've said that 4 times. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a like if you want to see more stuff like this, and don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out so much. Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye.